Where are you now?
I'm in the workshop.
At home?
With all the toys. At home, yeah, with all the toys and the goodies, all the racks and all this kind of stuff. So,
cool. So you're on a bit of a break from a tour now.
Yeah, most of April's looking quite quiet,
Okay.
Before it hopefully picks up for the rest of the year.
All right.
I can have an odd start to the year where I'm usually not out till the start of February.
Ah, right, yeah.
Middle of February, but I was like right out off the Mushroomhead, so.
Ah, okay. So Ross Louden, thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us, mate. Really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Good to be here.
So are you classed as self-employed then, or have you worked for someone, or?
Self-employed, yeah. I do all my own taxes and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All that. That's the downside to being self-employed. Essentially, you're your own boss, but you then need to take care of all that side of things.
Yeah. So if someone wanted to, so people like contact you, like they hire you for like a specific tour, and then you're done with them.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I mean the idea being is they'll say you're free to come out and do these dates. And sometimes it's a case of cool, brilliant, thanks.
Right.
You go your separate ways, and sometimes it's okay, well you've done those. Do you fancy coming and doing these ones as well?
Ah, right.
Sometimes it's kind of you do one gig and it's that sort of or one tour, and that's kind of almost a probation period.
Yeah, you start a relationship with that band.
Yeah, you've got to start somewhere, and usually you'll do a couple of shows, or if they've got a couple, a weekend festival run or something like that.
Yeah.
You'll go and do that pre-going and doing a month on the road with them because, we've all dealt with the people that are just not nice to be around. Great techs or great whatever, so great what they do.
Yeah.
They're just not great people. People.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure that you are not that, or you have to spend a month on that.
Yeah. So like not only are you like good at your job, but you're also like a nice person to work with.
With someone else for a month and they don't clean up after themselves and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing is you got to the balance between you could be the best tech in the planet.
Yeah.
But people skills and you're kind of that, or you could be great to be around, but an absolute bomb scare when it comes to technically wise and just not being any good at that.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of fine balance a lot of the time.
So how long have you been a guitar tech for?
So. Professionally, about 6 years, something like that. Yeah. I think my first tour was 2011.
Right.
With a local band, and then it's kind of progressed from there. They done their thing. Then I helped out with them. Then you meet other people, and you kind of, you network. You just
make contacts.
A band, but the support band, you get to know the headline band, and so on and so on. Or you tour with the headline band, you get to know the support band and all this kind of stuff. So
yeah,
and then you get this person in passing, and then they're looking for a guitar tech and. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. So what did you do before that then?
About 6 years, somewhere around about there. I studied music. I studied music in college.
Okay.
I got an HND. And I remember, I think it was the last month, maybe the last 2 months of the course, a lecturer who will remain nameless says, Ross, by the way, there are these things called roadies. And I went, that's a clue, is it? And he's like, yeah, it's a clue. I'm like, okay. So I was like, right, I'll go and look at that then. And the end of year college gig, a guy called Johnny Ramsey was doing the sound, who was a friend of some of the lecturers in the college. Johnny's done the laundry list,
Yeah.
Used to run EFX audio. I think he still does. I can't remember. But he knows a guy, or he knew a guy, Davey Robertson, used to be Brian Adams' guitar tech.
Okay.
I think it was Brian Adams.
Right.
And he came down with his tech toolbox, and he's like, "This is what's in here and that's in there," and I'm like, "Whoa!" Like, you can fit all that stuff in a box, and you do it in this. And I was like, "Okay, I quite like this. I'm going to try this out." That was maybe 2010, I think.
Okay.
And realizing, what, I can play guitar. I'm a decent guitar player, but my forte, my skill really is the fixing side of things and the technical side of things.
Yeah. So did you have you had some time in? Were you in bands before you started doing that? Then have you had that sort of experience?
Yeah, I kind of dabbled, done some kind of solo-y stuff in bands and the stuff you do when you're in college.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of playing with your mate here or doing that at the college band and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm all right. I'm not the best, but I'm okay. But when you sit down at the end of the 2 or 3 years that you're in college, and you go, right, what sets me apart from the other 15 guitar players in this course?
Yeah.
Nothing. They're all better than I am. Whereas I discovered that my skill set was more, right, okay, see, when that's broke, I've kind of got a decent idea how to fix it.
Yeah.
Or I can make things work out of bits that are lying about. That kind of thing, whereas they're not so good at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am, and they can play it far better than I can. So it's just realising that,
So it was kind of a natural sort of progression for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It
made sense.
It made sense. A lot of people say that techs are full of musicians, and I unfortunately fit into that category. But I'm far better at this than I ever was at being a musician.
But it still makes you better at what you do, though. The fact that you've done it.
I can play. Yeah, this is the thing. Is being there are a lot of techs that don't know how to play guitar, play instruments. I think. Keith Richards' tech. He plays violin or something. Like, he can't play guitar.
Right.
But he's good enough to work for Keith Richards.
Yeah.
So it's all about that, and it's knowing kind of being a guitar player. You understand the mindset a bit faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like doing any job, whether you work in wheelie bins or in an office or wherever you work. After a while of working there, you appreciate what goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas being a guitar player before I stepped into being a guitar tech, it was a bit faster. I understood what was going on a bit faster than if I hadn't played guitar.
Yeah, well, it's like you wouldn't get like a referee, someone being a referee if they had never played football. It wouldn't make sense.
Exactly. Like, this is the thing. This is it, exactly. There are some there are guys out there that, their first gig, they went, "Do you know what you're doing with a guitar?" And it's like, that's a guitar there, I know what that is. Nothing technically wise, but they've developed, they know, they can point, they can walk in a guitar shop and go, "There's one, and there's one, and there's one."
Yeah.
But technically wise, it's like, meh. Whereas being a guitar player before and dabbling with the kind of fixing and changing pickups and things like that. Yeah,
well, that's a little.
It's an advantage.
So that did you so you had to learn learn about that, how a guitar's made and stuff, all the ins and outs of it, electronics as well. That you have to study that as well.
It was more for me. It was something that it kind of naturally happened. I didn't study it. I didn't physically sit down and go, right, okay, I'm going to learn how to wire up. Well, I did actually once because my mate asked me to do it, and I had to figure out how the hell I done it. But it wasn't. It kind of you learn as you go. I never kind of physically sat down and went, short of a handful of times. I never sat down and went, right, okay, I need to know how a truss rod works.
Yeah.
It was more kind of, I was messing about with stuff, and it was like, what is this? Shit, what have I done? And then you figure it out.
Yeah.
I used to walk into the local guitar shop when I was 15, with the guitar in the bag on my shoulder, and the guys there would just look at us and go, "What have you broken this thing?" And while I was trying to do this, it didn't work. I'm like, "Oh, okay, right, fine." And then they would fix it, and I'd get it back, and I'd go, "Oh, okay." I managed to, the first time I tried to change a pickup, I managed to completely melt the switch. I don't know to this day how I managed it, but I managed to totally melt the, it was one of the of course, the cheaper Chinese ones with the plastic in the back of the 5-way.
Oh, right, yeah.
I heated it up so much with the soldering iron that I melted the back and the whole contact just fell right out. I was like, oh, well, that'll be that. Gobbled well, won't it? Okay. I'll need to take this to Adlib, which is the local music shop, and I was like, right, Alan, I broke it. Okay, fine. Whereas now now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of time it was through trial and error. Now.
Yeah. I suppose
stakes are a bit higher now, so you need to do your research.
Yeah, another part of your job is noticing on stage when something's going wrong, or if there's a technical difficulty, you've kind of got to spot it before anyone else does, and like try and. Because I've seen you, I've seen you at festivals many times, and I've always watched that you're always like, he's over there, now he's over there, now he's fixing that, now he's taping that, now he's behind there. So it's like a skill that you pick up, I suppose, isn't it? Trying to spot things that happen before they actually happen. Yeah,
your eyes kind of, Was those the part of the Tenacious D song? He walks 1,000 miles with his eyes. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, you need to kind of like just be constantly on your ball.
Yeah.
You know, and constantly making sure that everything's okay. And now it's great because a lot of the artists I work for now use ears in your monitors.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing exactly what they're hearing.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. If something goes wrong, then I hear it immediately.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of the people I work for still don't, and they're still very old school with wedges. So you just need to watch. You know, you need to keep one eye on them, because if something goes wrong, 9 times out of 10, they're going to notice it before you do.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are, if their sound changes, their body language is going to change.
Yeah.
Like Tim in Soil, the bass player in Soil, he's used the same bass rig since like 2001 over here, 2003, since whenever it was shipped over here. So he knows the sound of that bass rig.
Yep.
Like, see if the bias and it's an Arpeg Classic, if the bias is slightly off, he knows it.
Right.
You know, we've done Hard Rock Hell at a festival, a quick festival throw and go. Halfway through the set, he comes over and says, I need to check the bias on that amp tomorrow. And look in the back of it, and the lights are flashing. It's like, you know, he's just so in tune with his rig.
Yeah, definitely.
That he knows that. So you need to. So when you've got an artist like that, you just need to make sure your eyes are on them.
Yeah, yeah. So which other
If anything's wrong, they'll know.
Yeah, which other artists are you, or how many artists are you working with currently then?
Currently, it's mainly The Amorettes. It's my main gig right now.
Yeah.
After Jill and Heather.
Right.
I've done Annihilator.
Yeah. I remember that.
Tech for a few festival shows. Yep.
That was last summer, was it?
Mexican Head Charge. Yes, that was. Yeah, summer festivals. I think we've done 3 summer festivals.
Yeah.
I think I was on 2 of them. I can't remember exactly what 2 I was on. I know there was 3. So I said Soil, Annihilator, The Amorettes, Head Charge when they come back.
Yeah.
Mushroomhead.
Okay.
Doing them quite a bit.
Right.
Mushroomhead, they're awesome guys.
Cool.
It's that gig, the total opposite of the way Tim is. You know, they're very laid back about their rigs, and as long as it sounds roughly the way they want, they're good.
Yeah.
But the flip side to that is, I don't know if you've ever seen the Mushroomhead show with all the water.
I don't think so, no.
Keeping the guitars and the basses running. If you YouTube it, you'll see the amount of water that's on that stage. There's big drums.
Right.
Percussion, I think, is the technical term.
Mushroomheads, we'll make a note of that.
There's like it's an awesome show. They're out in November, but because of there's like drums and water, and they hit there's drummers that hit the drums, and the water goes everywhere, and then the guitar player runs up, starts smacking the drums, and the water goes all over him, and subsequently all over the guitar. Every couple of days, and glue frets back in, and just all this stuff, and it's so. Whereas Tim's very laid back. You know, with as long as it all works properly, he's fine.
Yeah.
Mushroomhead they're very laid back. As long as it works okay. Yeah, but keeping the guitars to that stage are harder, whereas Tim's more get it to that stage and keep it there.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's super easy to work for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know.
So have you sometimes do you get distracted by how good a band is, or do you always, like, especially if you've been with a band a long time, do you start sort of sometimes taking the show, or are you always 100% switched on in case someone watching for something going wrong?
I would like to say I'm always 100% on the ball, but I think, let's be honest, you never really are. But there are times where stuff happens and you go, I can't imagine, I would love to be the person standing on stage. Yourself standing on stage in front of people.
Yeah. But
there are even times where, was it with Glasvegas, done some stuff, and and you're standing there in front of 15,000 people. Even standing side stage watching them and watching 15 people just go mental.
Yeah.
And be so engrossed by this, you kind of go, wow, this is pretty cool. And then there are moments like that where you do slightly slip off the ball and you go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Nothing's went wrong in that couple of minutes that I was daydreaming.
Yeah.
You try. It's one of those things where you do get into a kind of work mode.
Yeah.
You do focus. And even when you are daydreaming, you're still watching what's going on. There are moments you go, whoa, this is really cool. But you need to appreciate the fact that if something goes wrong, then it's you that needs to step up to the plate and fix it before they realise there's a problem.
Yeah.
Or when they turn around to look at you, you're already halfway across the stage to fix the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. If they look at you, you know why they're looking at you.
Yeah, exactly. You need to know the kind of the ins and outs of all the gear and what's where and what's connected to what. And with Jill, I do all our patch changes for rhythms and solos, and that's all. It's just rhythms and solos.
Yeah.
So if anything goes wrong, of course I need to go on and fix what's going wrong, but I also need to kind of tap dance between pushing the buttons and okay, now I've pushed. It's if something's kind of slightly going a bit crazy, you go, okay, that can wait for a minute while if you see something kind of slightly hovering that could possibly go wrong, you go, right, that can wait a minute while I push the buttons, and then as soon as you push the button to go into the solo, then you've got X amount of time to go and put that back, and then run back over and and push the rhythm channel or whatever's coming next.
Yeah. I was thinking because you do a lot. You do a lot of running around. I was thinking you need a Fitbit. Count those steps.
Oh yeah, I think the first head charge tour, I used to be a larger chap than what I am. I went on the head charge tour, the first one when they first came back to the UK. The amount of running about I done, I think in 2 weeks, 13 days, I lost 5 kilograms.
Wow.
In weight, just from the amount of running around.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I didn't appreciate it at the time. I was totally, but I remember sitting on the bus and I put another pair of shorts on. And I'm like, I specifically remember these shorts fitting. Put them in my bag. What's going on? And then you go, all right, and you get home, you weigh yourself, and you go, oh, I've lost weight. Smashed. Yeah. This is brilliant. I'm going to get back on too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You do a lot of running about. You do a lot.
Yeah, you do.
On your feet.
I was gonna
on the smaller.
I was gonna ask you if you've had any absolute nightmares, like where things have gone wrong and you can't figure it out, or you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, okay. I basically on the last Mushroomhead run, we were in Vienna, and I specifically remember it because I love the venue. I can't remember the name. I can't pronounce the name. But it's the one everyone goes to in Vienna. It's like SUENNE or something like that, right? I love the venue. It's brilliant. The crew are all awesome. The lighting guy, you watch him, and rather than walk to get to the front house bit, I can't tangent, I know, but you need to get outside and up and round. He just bounces off the wall and jumps up and over the balcony, So But anyway, we'd walked all the wireless, because everything's all wireless in this room because of the amount of water.
Yeah.
I'd walked all the wireless, everything was fine. Come showtime, it all went horribly wrong. And because there wasn't a spare wireless channel, there wasn't anything I could do, because for me to like rescan wireless and repatch it in for Jeff and for Jay, I had to completely kill them.
Right.
While they were on stage. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't kill them while they're there. You know, so like Jay would come off between songs, or those bits in songs where Jay didn't have to be on the stage. So he'd come off and I'd take his wireless and I'd go in and I'd rescan and sync it up and then give it back to him and he'd come back on and everything would be okay for a wee bit. And where Jeff, this guy that's on stage all the time, he was on, his ears were crapping out, and it was just one of those gigs where it's like, I'm standing there and they're looking at me and I'm like, I can't do anything. Like, I actually physically cannot do anything about this right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm the guy that's responsible for fixing this, and I can't do it right now because there's not a spare channel or wireless. I can't hand Jeff the spare channel or wireless, take Jeff's mic, and then rescan it and give him it back. I can't do that because there isn't one, and Jeff's always on stage. He's always singing. So, you know.
Any other?
Get me a drink.
Any other stories?
I can't think of any other. I can't think of any other glaringly obvious.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good then. That's good that you can't.
I can't. I mean, I'm usually pretty good at having spares for everything and everything and places and bits and bobs of stuff that I can control.
Yeah.
There are, again, wireless is one of those things, and it was wireless that was the issue at that time. It was just, you can't control it.
Yeah.
You have the best wireless as your budget can afford, and you hope it's good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah.
There are ways and means of getting around it and stuff like that. But wireless is a weak link. No matter how good it is, it's always going to be the weak link.
Yeah.
You're cutting the cord.
Yeah. It's technology as well, isn't it? There's always a danger with technology.
Yeah, this is a lot of the rigs are getting very like with Kempers and Axifixes and things, where it's great because it saves your back because you've got a 2-unit rig that's got all your amps in it, you know, and then this little like the Matrix stuff, which is transistor, I think it is. It's solid state.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like 1,000 watts, and it's brilliant. It's loud and it sounds great, you know. As opposed to big, massive valve amps and all this kind of stuff. The valve amps have their own problems, but they're analog. So if something goes wrong, it's like, it's a capacitor, or it's a resistor, or it's a valve. Or
yeah.
Whereas if something goes wrong with a Kemper or an Axifix, it's like, have they got a spare? You know, because you need to like completely reboot it.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes a while for it to. Again, I think it was on Soil Run. We're playing a venue again, we'll remain nameless. But it's all students. And there's one teacher, lecturer, I suppose, for lack of a better term, and all the crew are all students. And it's great because you've got to start somewhere, and it's great to see bands coming in and seeing different gear and talking to techs and stuff like that. I'm totally for it. I'm totally for starting at the bottom and learning, but not when the whole crew doesn't really know what they're doing. For instance, so during this gig, the stage left power goes down, or the stage right power goes down, sorry, that had the rig on it, that had Adam's rig and Tim's rig, and the wirelesses. That goes down. And it's like, does someone know what the breaker is to turn the breaker back on? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Do you know? Bob, does anybody know what the breaker is? And it's like, shit, fuck, okay. This is the whole rig.
Yeah.
But again, the forethought is, right, so I've got a cable that's long enough to go from stage left over to stage right. so I can run on to stage left, plug it in, throw it across the stage, plug the rack into that, and get power back up.
Yeah.
But because it's all digital, it takes a minute for it to load up. You know, it's a lot more solid because there's no valves, but the downside is that, see, if it does go down, it takes a bit longer to boot back up and to get to where you want it. But when it does get there, it's exactly the same as it was before it. Before it died.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what was the Annihilator shows like, and how did that come about for you?
They came about they were cool shows. Jeff said he's very, very, he wants things done his way, you know, and rightly so. He's, you know, and him and Aaron are very, they're very focused on guitar sounds.
Yep.
Excuse me. But their tour manager phoned me and went, "Do you fancy coming and do? We need a guitar tech. Do you fancy coming and doing it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, awesome." You know, so I'd done the shows and they were cool. You know, it was a learning experience. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I learned a lot about the way they want things done.
Yeah,
and they're very, very specific about the way that they want things done. And you know what? You do get guys like that. You do get bands that go, "I want things done this way. I know you know what you're doing, but I want things done this way."
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you get people you work for that go, "You know what you're doing, off you pop."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, do your thing.
I suppose that's...
Jeff and Aaron.
I was going to say that's probably part of your job, is to just adapt to the situation. Either someone's going to be very specific, or they're just going to let you run with it. So you have to be sort of adapt to any of those situations.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's one of those things where that's exactly it. Is you need to adapt to the situation that's going on, especially if you're just stepping into a role for a couple of shows.
Yeah.
Again, Tim very specific on his bass sound, but after a bit, and I've toured with him before when I was with Head Charge, we've done a couple of months, a few years ago. He appreciates, right, okay, you know what you're doing. You know what I want to sound like.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. Cool. I'll leave you to it. You know, but Jeff didn't know me from the guy standing over there. You know, he didn't know if I was any good, bad, or indifferent. So he was very, right, I want you to do this, and this. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. And then Aaron was very much, I want you to do this way, this way, and that way. You know, and I want you to tune my guitar this way, and this flat, that sharp, or whatever. You know, it's like, okay, cool, no problem. If that's the way you want it done, that's the way you'll get it done.
Yeah. So what other bands have you worked with in the past then? What's some of your bands worth naming?
Again, your Annihilators, your Soils, Head Charges, Mushroomhead, Glasvegas, The Amorettes, Electric Boys.
What countries has it taken you to so far?
Mainly Europe. It's very much Europe based currently. There are some things going on possibly in the States. That hopefully at some point soon, but we'll see. They're cracking down on a lot of that right now. I've got a few mates that were supposed to be out with various bands.
Alright, yeah.
That haven't had the applications approved and stuff. You know, I don't know the finer details of it, you know, but I know a few people that are far more long in the tooth in this game than I am.
Yeah.
And getting these applications turned down, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Mainly Europe, currently.
Alright. Oh well. But this is like I was saying before, it's like what makes you on people's lists, like they ring you for tours and stuff, is the fact that you've learned, like you can adapt to situations and you become reliable, and people remember that you were good and they worked with you once, and that leads to sort of relationships down the line, which is what's led you to where you are now, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's again, it's that kind of being good at your job, being really good at your job, and then also being a people person.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked with bands and they've discovered that, you know what, you're pretty good at your job, you know what you're doing, you adapt well, and we can get along with you. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the thing that's the main thing is, you know what, there are guys that I know, Freddie Coelho, who's the guy that taught me, he didn't so much teach me, but when I was a kid, Freddie's he's worked for Zach Wilde, and he's David Ellison's bass tech, and is it Kiko, the new guitar player?
Yeah, Kiko, yeah.
He's their tech. And when I was a kid, I was maybe 18 or 19. I managed to find his email address somewhere and sent him an email saying, "Hi Fred, I kind of do this. Can you help me?" And he sat with us on Skype for hours during the rehearsals for, I think it was 20th anniversary for Rust in Peace.
All right, that's cool.
That was it. Somewhere around about there. He sat in Skype and he told us all this stuff. You need one of these. You want two of them, and he's a super, super nice guy. That's where I learned from. So the way I always approach things is, you know what? Be nice.
Yeah.
If you're good at your job and you're a nice guy,
goes a long way.
Things will work.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Exactly. One thing he always taught me, and something that I try and always constantly say to myself when I'm really stressed, is a case of when you're at a festival and you've not got the time or the space to do what you want to do, you're running on caffeine, and cigarettes, and you look around, pick a person, and they're all on exactly the same. They've not got the time, not got the space, not got the energy to do what they want to do. They're all on exactly the same boat as you are.
Yeah.
So see if you can help someone out a wee bit. Do it.
That's it. It's kind of boosts morale as well, as if
go nowhere.
Because if you're it's alright. We adapt to it. But if you're saying like that, if you if you're picking a person and you're sort of saying, how can I help them, and then it rubs off on other people as well. It can change the mood of somewhere if they see someone who's positive and actually wants to help and sort things out. Then it works both ways.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. This is exactly it. That if you walk about and you see a load of dour-faced people that are just, you get through the day, you go, okay, cool. Whereas if you see a lot of really happy, positive people running about and, everyone's, hi, how's it going? And, yeah. You go, you kind of, exactly as you said, you kind of absorb it. And you go, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe things aren't quite as bad as I think they are.
No. Do you find a bit of a mixture, on all the different jobs that you do? You're always going to get a bit of that person's not so happy or helpful, but this person is, so I'll talk to them.
Yeah, this is the thing. Everyone has their own temperament,
Yeah.
Exactly. You do get people that are very grumpy and very opinionated and very, whatever.
Yeah.
You just appreciate the fact that, what, that's the way they are. That's them, and don't let that affect you in any way.
Yeah.
If that, it's just that they are them. That's the way they are. You focus on being you, and however you want to be perceived.
Yeah, and you just got to do your job as well.
Exactly. If everyone's dour, then it doesn't. When you're on a 45-foot bus with these people, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And when you're working and everyone's kind of, can you give us a hand? No. Come on, mate, we're all on the same team here.
Yeah, exactly. I've often thought that you are all on the same team, so people should want to help.
Yeah, and unfortunately not everyone does, but it's the way some people mean, whether you're a guitar tech, a bass tech, a drum tech, a front of house guy, or a monitor guy, or whatever. Everyone has their thing they need to focus on. That is the most important part for them.
Yeah.
Making sure my artist is happy is the most important part for me. Making sure they're not going to trip over stuff and things like that. Whereas the monitor guy or the monitor woman, he or she needs to make sure that it sounds good for the band, and the lighting guy needs to make sure that the bands are seen, the band look great.
Yeah.
And it's kind of right. How do we compromise here? I know you really want to put that light right there where it would look absolutely spot on. But if you put that light right there, they're going to trip over it. So, do we come to some kind of arrangement here? Can we move that maybe a foot this way?
Yeah.
Would be better?
Yeah. So what?
Okay, cool. Maybe it's kind of somewhere, or, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So what other aspects of jobs have you picked up along the way? Because sometimes you do more than just be a guitar tech. There's other situations that have developed your skills and the other sides of it as well.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff these days it's very much. There's no one that's just a guitar tech, or there's no one that's just a front of house guy, or there's no one that's just a monitor engineer.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's like guitar tech and stage manager, drum tech and monitor engineer, front of house guy and tour manager.
Yeah.
So for like stuff like running Wildfire Festival and things like that, when I was a guitar tech, or I am a guitar tech, I've spoke to people and found out ways of running stages and what has to go here, what has to go there.
Yeah.
You know, what stuff can you give a bit of leeway on? What stuff do you have to go? No, that has to you. No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you know. So, and you do develop bits of sound guy knowledge, like knowing various frequencies that your rig doesn't work with these frequencies, or there are bits of frequencies in gear that just doesn't sound right, and you need to be able to relay that to front of house people. So you need to know what they are.
Yeah.
You know, there was a bass that just, there was a specific frequency that just, no matter what we've done, it was just right there.
Yeah.
3 or 4K, it was just right there. Like, right, you need to know that's what that is. So that, see, when you're up to a festival and you've not got your own front of house guy, you'll be able to go, right, see 3 or 4K, just scoop it out.
Yeah.
Notch it out.
Yeah.
That's what, it'll be somewhere around about there. Rather than them taking the extra time to scan the band and go, there's the frequency there, that's the one that's not sounding right.
Yeah.
If you say, right, look in this little gap here, okay, it's 3.2K, poof, down you go.
Yeah.
So you develop the kind of this sound guy knowledge, how to speak to them, the monitor guy knowledge, how to speak to them, lampy knowledge, stuff like that. You do develop, you know, you appreciate that everyone works in this ecosystem, this environment.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so you appreciate how to speak to everybody.
Yeah.
And they do the same for you.
I was going to say, probably, you mentioned the Amorettes, that's probably the band I associate you with the most. How did you first get involved with the Amorettes?
It was many, many moons ago. I think pre, or just after my first tour, a mate of mine knew them, and they played the local pub, and we started speaking, and I had delusions at that point of being a guitar tech. This is before I was actually a tech, so I had delusions of wanting to be one.
Right.
And I remember giving Heather, the bass player, my card, and I cringe every time I think about it.
Oh, have you still got some of those cards?
I have some somewhere.
I'd love to see one of them.
I have new ones. I have like the good looking one. This was like my first business card.
How did you sell? How did you sell yourself back in the day then?
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. But I remember giving Heather, and she's this blank look of, okay, you know. And then fast forward a few years, and they were doing a few festivals, and they were out with Black Star Riders.
Oh yeah.
And I was on another gig with someone else in Bathgate, and Heather and Hannah come up to us. And it was one of them was like, you ask him. No, you ask him. I'm like, you ask him. What's up? What's going on? Right, we've got some dates. Do you want to come out and help us out? And it's like, yeah, okay, cool. And it's just sort of snowballed from there.
Yeah.
You know, they're the people I've worked for consistently for the longest.
How long has it been?
3 years at this point.
Oh yeah, cool.
You know, so
that's pretty much when it started to take off for them, I thought.
Yeah, this is when they done the first BSR tour, or the first BSR tour they were on, 2014.
Yeah.
About this time, in fact, we just finished 5 shows with them. And I think in the middle of that run was like the anniversary, like 2 years ago was. Yeah. Or 3 years ago was their first show with BSR, and I think Dublin was the first show of that tour with BSR in Europe. Which was, as someone that had worked with bands before and things like that, it was kind of cool, but I was still cutting my teeth at that point. Right, yeah. And to be on tour with guitar techs like Coy, who looks after stage right for BSR. He does I'm on a math. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. I'm on a math.
I've done loads of people.
Yeah.
And mate, who's Scott's tech. Scott's Phil's an awesome tech, and he's very particular about the way he wants things. Yeah. You know, that's particular to the way Scott wants things. I wish I could be as attentive to things as that. You know, and I'd done a couple of gigs with Ricky. We'd done a solo thing, and I knew Ricky, but I'd never worked for him. And Phil sent us this PDF email of everything that he was looking after and how everything went together and how everything worked and what they all liked and all this kind of stuff. To be that thorough and to be able to do stuff like that, I would love to be able to.
Yeah.
I envy that for Phil and guys like Norm's Tech. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. You know, but Eric, John Norm's Tech.
Right.
You know, he was so John Norm's very tone orientated. So Eric was so into, you know, John's rigging setup, and you'd watch Eric before he would do a handover for a guitar. He'd sit there for a song before it at least and play the guitar. 2 songs, he'd warm it up and tune it and play it and warm it up and tune it and play it and warm it up before he handed it over to Norm, to John. So when he got it, it was as though he'd had the guitar on for 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
You know, and just the way to pass guitars off with the strap over the shoulder, just all this kind of stuff, being put into a position where all of a sudden everyone you look at is really good at their game.
Yeah.
And to be doing that for 2 or 3 weeks, you learn a lot of stuff. You learn a lot of things.
Yeah, I was going to say, you pick up little bits and pieces like that. You get, oh, that's good. I'll remember that. I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everyone's got their own way of doing things, and no one's way is completely right.
No.
But, you know, like on my big toolbox over there, there's a mic stand cup holder.
Yeah.
For putting my drink on when I'm working, so it's not on my bench.
Yeah.
You know, and I stole that idea from Quoty. I seen it on his, and I'm like, that's a brilliant idea.
I can actually drink it when I'm working now.
I'm working, but so you don't need to worry about it being on your workbench. You can knocked over, or you can put your cup of coffee down there, and you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Wee things like this, like the way John Levin's bass tech passed off his bass with like the strap over the shoulder.
Yeah.
And kind of opened it up so that the artist basically took his off, handed it, you grabbed it, and then they picked it up with the strap.
Yeah.
Put it on.
No.
That way, if you've got a wireless pack on your strap, you don't need to worry about it
twisting around. Yeah.
Twisting around and get the cable put, because it's happened. It's happened to me where you've handed the guitar off. It was working fine 2 seconds ago, but in the process of them picking the strap up and putting it on, they pulled the cable out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just come out just that wee bit, and it's like, oh shit. There you go. So doing stuff like that, you know, it's just wee things you just learn through watching.
Yeah. You become you become like a well-oiled machine after a while, don't you? Especially when you're working with the same band for a while.
Yeah. You figure out the way their body language works. Like Jill, I know that within the first song, if we go for a solo and Jill can't hear it properly, she'll naturally step back. She'll take a step backwards, so I know the solo's not loud enough.
Ah, okay.
So as soon as I kick it out of the solo, I can then go and I can turn on the solo.
Yeah.
Just doing stuff, you just appreciate that, and the way she stands, if she's standing kind of like shouldered, and you know the feet shoulder width apart and kind of in it, she's totally happy with the way things are sounding. Or if she's kind of more upright, she doesn't quite like it. And you just, through working with someone, you figure out their body language and the way they.
Yeah.
They don't know they're doing it, but through you watching them doing it, you appreciate, right, when they don't like that, or when they do like that, this is what happens, or that's what happens.
Yeah.
So you can do your thing accordingly, you know, and whatever's going wrong without them necessarily noticing it.
Yeah.
Because you've noticed their body language changing to what's happened. And
yeah. So it's all about adapting again, isn't it? Picking up on things. You develop like a sixth sense for things.
Yeah, you do have to. You do have to be very
preemptive.
Yeah, and appreciate what can go wrong. What have I got that can fail?
Yeah.
Wireless packs, right?
Yeah.
The battery can run out of the wireless pack, so I'll have a spare box of batteries.
Yeah.
Or I'll have usually when any gig, if they're using wirelesses, I'll have a spare massive extension that I can run from one side of the stage to the other, like the soil deal. I can do that. I'll have a spare box of batteries. I'll have my string chain. I've got a little pouch that's got all peg winders and stuff in it for changing strings. My string changing kit, I'll have that there, and I'll have spare water, spare beer if they want beer. Yeah. And I'll have spare strings. So if anything goes wrong, it's right there. Yeah. I don't need to look for it.
You almost need spare everything.
Yeah, that's the thing, and knowing where everything is in relation to
quick access as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, unfortunately, we don't always have. If you're doing your own headline gig, you've got free reign to do what you want.
Yeah.
But if you're doing adapting to being a support band where you can limited time,
you've kind of got to fit. You've got to find your place to fit in, and like you don't always have. You can't have it all your own way. Sometimes you've just got to make do, haven't you, with certain situations?
Exactly, you've got to make do with what's where.
That's also a big part of your job as well, isn't it?
Yeah, adapting to the environment, and scaling, appreciating. Like if you're doing festivals, you go right. Well, I would love to have all of this, but I've only got 20 minutes to change it over, and I've got to do this twice because I've got to do it for Jill and I've got to do it for Heather.
Yeah.
So right, how do I attach as much things to things as possible that makes it as easy as just plugging a couple of cables in?
Yeah.
Like attaching your speaker cables and your power cables. It's something daft that not many people do, or loads of techs probably do it, but not many guitar players do. You go, right, well, when it comes to that quick changeover, you go, right, well, speaker cable, power cable. Speaker cable, power cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when it comes to the end where you've got crew that come on and start ripping all the stuff off, you pull out all the stuff off the amp, pull the cables out the front of the amp or the effects loop or wherever you got your cables. The amp can roll and all your stuff's all attached together and it's plugged into the power supply. So power supply, you grab it, you wrap it up, you pull your cables back to your rig, you wrap your cables up and go. So you just need to appreciate it and do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So you have 3 years with the Amorettes. It's kind of developed. It must have developed quite a lot along the way. The setup and all the equipment that you take's kind of grown, I'd imagine.
It has, yeah. In fact, you can see some of it there.
Right. Yeah.
These are 2 new racks we're building.
Okay.
When I first started, it was a couple of little the G30 wirelesses.
Yeah. Yep.
And little Hughes and Kettner Grandmeister or Tubemeister, the little 36 watt things.
Yeah.
Which worked great, and it was just wireless, into the amp, and that was it. But as the stages get a bit bigger and as Jill's ears get a bit more tuned to what she wants, the 36 watts just wasn't cutting it.
Yeah.
Because we're cranking it and it was just fizzy. So we spoke to Blackstar, and Blackstar helped us out with a lot of stuff. So we had a couple of amps that we tried. It was a Series 1 200 and the Series 1 100, the KT88s and the 6L6s. She loved the KT88s one, the Series 1 200s. And we used them for a while, and then we went to Blackstar again and went to HT Metals, which sound awesome. She really, really likes the sound of the HT Metal.
Yeah.
With not all the gain. Because the metal thing puts a lot of people off, but it's a really great sounding. I think the metal side of it only kicks in when you turn the gain up to about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It kicks in a solid state preamp bit or preamp boost or something. But up to about 4 or 5, it's just natural valve distortion. I could be getting that wrong. I'm pretty sure it's how it is. And if I don't, James will probably email me and say, "What's going on?" And I'm like, well, I think this is what it is. But and over the years now that the stages are getting bigger and we're playing more festivals, the Line 6 stuff is great. The wirelesses are smashing. They work great for playing a couple hundred people in a club. But when you go to a festival and you've got 4 stages, with like 2 guitar players and a bass player on each stage, and they've all got 2 or 3 channels of wireless each, stuff like the Shure, the UR4D that's in that rack there, stuff like that is what you need. And the ears, there's that set of Sennheiser ears below it. We've recently switched to them, and we've learned a lot together and grown a lot together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's like part of your. It's good to be not you weren't necessarily from the very beginning, but like from the early stages of that to where it is now, you've kind of followed along with the journey, which makes it a lot more easier rather than stepping in halfway through and you've got to start from the ground up. You've kind of developed with it, so I imagine it's quite satisfying as well.
It is. You watch it develop, and there are wee things that you do. You go, it's a great idea, and you bring things to the table, and they turn around and go, it's a brilliant idea. We'll do that.
Yeah.
When you go smashing, you feel the ego boost. The ego starts, yes, yeah. But it's a case of appreciating that, their needs as and it's something I was kind of slightly guilty of, is like getting really precious over the gear.
Yeah.
And being like, no, it can't change. because I've got such a hand in building it and designing it, or designing the rigs, that it's almost like your baby as well. So
Yeah.
it's like, no, he's not going there. You know, it's like the mum and the dad. You know, kind of like you know, that sort of idea. So
Yeah.
I'm a lot, you know, having done stuff with like soil and head charge and Mushroomhead and stuff now, I'm a lot more laid back almost.
Yeah.
To their gear. So it's like, okay, Heather wanted to put a fuzz in the rig. You know, had this been 2 years ago, I'd been like, and I will put my hand up and admit I'm totally guilty of, you know what, it's kind of like my baby as well, and no, you can't have it.
I don't like change.
I don't like change. It works. Leave it alone. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas now, see if Heather came up to me and went, you know what, I want a shoebox and elastic band in it. You know, that's what I want my bass sound like. Fine, cool. See, as long as I can get two of them, so I've got a spare.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. So
you know, you do get a bit attached to things sometimes.
Yeah. Do they use many pedals? I think Jill uses a couple of pedals, doesn't she?
No, she doesn't.
Or did she used to?
We had a Maxon OD9.
Right.
In the rig for a while for the solo, but Jill's rig is basically wireless and an AV box to choose channels, into a noise suppressor because she plays with quite a lot of gain and quite loud. Excuse me, I better let you know. Out to now we're using two HT metals.
Right.
One for Jill's ears and one for front of house. So we go into them, but it's basically guitar, wireless, noise suppressor stuff with schooling into an amp.
So does she use a boost for when she does the solos?
Yeah, we use the OD1 channel and the OD2. We basically turn the clean channel off, so that's like my mute switch.
Right, yeah.
And we use OD1 and OD2. OD1's a rhythm sound, but the HT stuff has it's got a 3 dB or a 4.5 dB boost built into it.
Right.
As well, so you can have your rhythm sound, your solo sound, but you can also have this boost on either one of them. So if you're on your rhythm sound and you're playing, there are some times where she'll be playing a bit and she'll want some feedback. So rather than me changing the channel, I can just boost, add a bit more gain to the front end of the amp. Just helps it naturally feedback a bit, rather than changing the channel and the volume getting stupidly loud.
Ah, right, yeah. So is there any other bands who you've like wanted to work with? I'm sure there's probably quite a few, but anyone who you know of who would be cool to work for?
There's a lot that would be cool to work for. I don't want to count my chickens.
No,
you know,
no.
I've been fortunate enough that the Soil Boys, and even Mushroomhead, when I was 15 years old, I remember going to the Cat House in Glasgow. I was 15, going to the Cat House in Glasgow, and like Halo was the big hit.
Oh yeah.
Bouncing up, down, and going mental to Halo and to what was the head charge one? Just so you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was going mental to those songs, and this is so cool, and to fast forward 10 years, you know, and to be working for those guys and to be a friend.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Of those guys. That's really cool. And like Mushroomhead, I remember going to the local guitar shop back when I was breaking stuff every other weekend.
Yeah.
And they gave me an Ibanez catalogue, and it was like, like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani played Ibanez guitar, so this was this holy grail of guitar thing for me. I was like, and flicking through it, you know, and it's like a porn magazine when you're a kid. You know, the guitar, it's like fucking porn, right? So you're flicking through it, and I seen Mushroomhead when they were using Ibanez. And I seen the masks. This is before I knew Slipknot were like masks and 7-string guitars, and I was like, you can wear masks and do this, and you can have 7 strings. My guitar's only got 6. What am I doing wrong? You know, this kind of stuff, and appreciating, and then to, again fast forward and be like, not so much taken aback, but kind of, it's really cool that you have the respect of these people that
and they trust.
You've done tours with
they
them.
trust you.
And trust, exactly. You know, I've done tours that I'm probably going to go and do my 3rd tour, Mushroomhead, you know, at the end of this year, and it's awesome. You know, it's awesome to call those guys my friends.
Yeah.
You know, and to have the respect that I have for them, and to know that it's kind of somewhat, hopefully, reciprocated.
Yeah. Did you ever get to go to gigs these days?
I don't get to go to many. I fall into the category that I think a lot of techs do, is we spend so much of our time
Yeah, it's like a busman's holiday.
It's like, exactly Busman's Holiday. I went to see Gojira.
Right, yeah.
Hannah asked me to go and see Gojira when they played Glasgow, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I was never a huge Gojira fan, but I knew a couple of songs, and it was great. You know, it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. After about 45 minutes of it, it's like, okay, I've heard this one.
Or do you spend half your time watching what their texts are doing?
I'm kind of guilty. I'm kind of guilty of you see the rack, you know
yeah, what equipment they're using, what their setup is. Yeah.
Like, they've got that. They've got EVs, 5153s. Sure, you are 4Ds, and all.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of dude. If you're into it, and it's the same as guitar players. If a guitar player goes and sees another guitar player, they go, "Oh, that sounds cool. What amp were you using?
Yeah.
What pedals were you using?"
Yeah, definitely.
You know, roadies are kind of guilty of it as well.
Yeah. So, who are some of your favourite bands then?
I'm a massive Mr. Big fan. I would love to work for
Mr. Big. Wow.
Oh, now you're talking.
What's he saying?
He says now you're talking.
Yeah. Paul Gilbert, the fucking man.
Oh yeah, Mr. Big. I remember I was my 16th birthday. I got a guitar lesson with him, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever done. Most terrifying thing I've ever done. I'd love to be Paul's tech for at least one tour, just to say I've done it.
Yeah.
But Mr. Big, there's something about harmony vocals, that 80s harmony, like late 80s, early 90s, like the Extreme and Mr. Big, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
With like the guitar player can play, but the guitar player can sing as well.
Yeah.
You know, where you watch like the Winery Dogs and you hear Richie Kotzen sing, and then he plays guitar and you go, you shouldn't be that good at both of them.
Yeah.
Come on. Just pick one and leave the rest. Just leave the other one to somebody else.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
What was
Winery Dogs are cool.
What were some of the like albums that had a big impact on you when you were sort of growing up?
I remember the first Metallica, the Kill 'Em All.
Kill 'Em All, right?
Kill 'Em All was a huge one. I can't remember the name of the album, but whatever one, the Kill the King by Megadeth, whatever one that was on.
Oh, that was on. Was that like Capital Punishment? It was like their last CD of that record deal, because that record deal was coming to an end, and they sort of let's call it that, just to take the piss.
Yeah, I remember because I was even younger than maybe 12 or 13 in high school, and a friend, but the brothers, you know, the mate's brother's friend, you know, playing, see that dum dum.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually,
see the dun dun, and I was like, what? You know, Producer Tech here has just looked it up, and I think it was Capital Punishment was the name of the album. That was it. That's the one with the bullseye.
Yeah.
Or the sniper scope.
It had some weird artwork, but the principle of that was, let's call it Capital Punishment, because it was the last deal with Capitol Records, because they'd signed, I think it was a 5-album deal, but they had to produce this 5th CD, so they just sort of took the piss really and just called it that.
Yeah. Well, I was a huge Buckethead fan. I am a huge Buckethead fan. My nickname when I was going to Glasgow when I was about 15 was Bucket, because I was so Buckethead. Mad, yeah, exactly. That's it. Buckethead mad. So most of his stuff. I never, oddly enough, I never quite got the whole album craze thing. I was more songs.
All right. You
know, more songs kind of got me. That sort of thing. I was never. Now I love it. I love sitting with the album and absorbing it. Back then, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was growing up, I would just lie in my bed with my headphones on, listening to entire albums, just taking it all in. But I mean, I don't do that now. I don't know if anybody does that now, because you just don't have the time. You're always multitasking. There's always, music's kind of become, well, unless you're driving or something, or you're walking, but quite often it's a background thing, which is kind of a shame, really. Cause
yeah. I mean, it was, and it kind of still is. Fortunately, well, I mean, where I live is kind of outside Glasgow, so for me to get to my regular gig, wherever it happens, I need to go through Glasgow. So I need to sit in a train for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, to get to, before I even start to think about where I'm going. So, fortunately, doing the travelling that I do get a chance now to sit and listen to music while I'm travelling.
Yeah.
You know, like listening to songs, you'd listen to it when you first heard it, and then you'd maybe listen to it again a week later and you discover all these little parts.
Yeah.
You know, or when I get my first set of good headphones, you know, when I saved my money and got a good set of headphones when I was like 16.
Yeah.
And it was, it was Dave Wiener's first album, Shove the Sun Aside.
Right.
I remember listening to it, and that's a really cool album, yeah. And I get these good headphones, and I was sitting in the train going to meet some friends in Glasgow. And I'm listening to it, and I'm hearing all these little bits of guitars and here and there, and the next place, it's like, whoa, this is so cool.
Yeah.
You know,
like texturing and layering and stuff, all that sort of stuff. I love all that.
Panning and how it all sort of kind of creates one big thing.
Yeah.
There's this is what you're listening to, you know, there's the guitar and the bass and the drums, but there's like these third and fourth guitar tracks and little bits of harps here and this, that and the next thing that's kind of isn't an integral part of what you're listening to, but when you hear it all makes sense.
Yeah. You get used to the parts the parts of it that make up the whole, like the individual parts that make up the whole. It's like I remember when we first started going to like professional recording studios, I was like a sponge, just saying what. He's probably it was Matt Ellis of Access Studios in Doncaster. I was like, what's that? What does that do? How do you connect that to that? And he's probably getting quite annoyed with me, but I was just so interested. And now now that I know how that works, because we've done it a few times, I can hear it on recordings and stuff. I pick up, there's a third guitar just coming in the second half of that chorus. That's interesting. But it was beforehand. Yeah, I didn't even think of things like that.
Yeah, you just that's a guitar. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not that's that guitar and that's that guitar, it's a guitar. You don't appreciate that those are two separate guitars that come together to make a sum of something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And as you say, when you do it a bit more, or when you listen to better headphones or whatever,
yeah.
You know, as you as you mature in your audio experience, I suppose. You know, as you kind of develop an understanding for things, you appreciate. That's really, really cool. How did they do that?
Yeah.
Or why did that work? Or whatever.
Yeah, for me as a rhythm guitarist, so I'm always looking out for like the sound of the rhythm guitars, and I always appreciate how tight, especially with metal, how tight it has to be, and like I can tell like when it's good and when it's like sometimes it's been copied and pasted, or you can tell when it's been these are real authentic takes, you know, which I can't always listen for.
You can always hear that little. Like you pay attention and you hear little bits that are the same, like that little tiny bit of a string ring that's the same in every
bar.
Unless you're listening for it, there's a Rammstein song. I can't remember what it is. But it sounds like it's just been copy and pasted.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like Mind Tile or whatever. The one with the cookie and the chef.
Yeah.
There's a bit. I think it's in that. Where you can hear this little ring a few times, and you go, they've obviously copied and pasted.
Yeah. Well, luckily, the people like Matt Ellis who we worked with, he always wants us to do full, like multiple takes of the song, just go over again. He'll pick out the best bits, but we don't get like copy and paste or anything. We'll just repeat that, which I kind of feel like I think it was like the early 2000s when Pro Tools really became, maybe the late 90s when Pro Tools and all that sort of stuff became really popular. I think people then sort of maybe become a bit lazy to it because it's just easier and quicker. If I know time is money when you're in a studio, but some of the productivity back then was affected by it. I think people become reliant on it.
I mean, it was a new thing as well, though. At that point,
totally.
It was kind of the whole idea of you can snap to a grid. You can.
Yeah.
You can go highlight this, click like Beat Detective inside Pro Tools. Okay, that's 154 BPM. Snap it to the grid.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfectly in time now. With because a lot of these guys, it's like at that point it's all right. Okay, so now we can record like the drums here, the guitars over there, the vocals back here. So if we snap it all to a grid, when we come and put it all together, it's all it's all going to be all in time.
Yeah.
And it was a tool. It was. It was like when the Beatles started using the studio as a tool. I can't. What was the name? The name of the album escapes me. But when they started, it was like, right, okay. Now the studio is not just right. Okay, well, you push record and the band plays.
Yeah.
and then you push stop, and you've got a product. You know, it was like, okay, well, you can multi-track, and you can play the button, and then you can put a guitar in here. And
they started to experiment, didn't they?
Kind of stuff. Yeah. And I think when, again, maybe like mid to late 90s, early 2000s, Pro Tools was a commodity. It was a tool. It was a tool. Pro Tools.
Yeah.
You know, and they kind of went, all right, we can do this and we can do that, and we can vocoders and all this kind of stuff. We can, if the song's in the key of A, then we can make the vocals sound in the key of A and all this kind of stuff.
Like I always felt like Metallica's Saint Anger just sounds copied and pasted.
Yeah.
It just and also the songs, like a lot of those songs, if they ended at 4 minutes or 5 minutes, they wouldn't be so bad. But they sort of copy and paste it, like another verse and another chorus on the end. It's just some of it's just unlistenable. But I think a lot of bands ended up doing that. I think.
Yeah, what's the song? I think it's Some Kind of Monster. See the dun 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 dun. Yeah,
that's Some Kind of Monster. Yeah.
Some Kind of Monster. What always got me, and I can't unlisten to it as soon as I hear it. See, if you listen to the dun at the start, you hear the snare drum rattle.
Yeah. That's intentional.
There's no snare drum in the whole of Saint Anger.
I know. So the only snare is that one. Because it's the spring. It's the springs on the snare, isn't it? And his drum sound on the album is to have no strings.
Yeah, and the irony of that. Was
I know it's probably intentional.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine. You know, what's his face? Bob Rock done that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine they would have let that through as just slipping under the radar.
Yeah,
you know, actually, if a 15-year-old kid notices it. I'd hope Bob Rock wins.
That's true.
You know?
Actually, there is a version out there of a remastered Some Kind of Monster song with proper drums.
Alright, it's on like a snare.
Yeah, like an actual proper snare. Yeah, like it should have been.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to look that up.
It's got a sound.
Well, it does. Yeah.
I think it's kind of like there's a Liquid Tension experiment song, Liquid Rain, I think it is, or Liquid something.
Right.
But the intro bit of it, there's no snare on the snare drum. There's no snare wires.
Yeah.
And it sounds brilliant. And then as soon as the intro kicks into like the first verse, then obviously they've turned the snare on and it sounds like a snare drum.
Well,
but in bits, I think in places it works, but snare drum sound for an album, I don't think it wasn't a good idea.
Like it works on a couple of songs, but it grates on you the longer you hear it.
Exactly, this is the thing. As an effect, it's great, but as this sound, it's like not so much.
The other sound of that album was the lack of solos, which they kind of ended up not doing.
The lack. You kind of really broke up there.
Lack of solos. There's no lead work on that album at all.
Oh, lack of solos. Yeah.
Because did you see the documentary?
I've never watched the whole thing.
Right.
I watched it in bits. Captain Kirk's like your favourite Warhammer.
Yeah. Well, there's a scene in that where they're talking about the solos because Kirk's obviously jamming in the studio about all these coming up with these licks and stuff to go over the songs, and he comes in and he's really pissed off and he's like, can I just say, like, I don't want to like have no solos just for the sake of it because everyone else is doing no solos, because if we don't do any solos that kind of dates it to now, this time period. But then Bob Rock was saying, well, let's not just have solos for the sake of having solos, so if you come up with something good, we'll use it. If you don't, we won't. And there's no solos on the album, so either they're just he was really pants at that time period, or they just decided to specifically not have solos. I don't know. I never found that out, but it's just interesting the kind of decisions that these bands go through. And for him to go through a whole album, he's a lead guitarist and he's not on it basically.
He doesn't play one single solo.
No, weird.
Poor Kirk. Laughing all the way at the bank.
Well, yeah, he always will be. Yeah.
On YouTube, there was somebody who remixed the original Master of Puppets song with the Saint Anger snare drum sound.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
it's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I've not seen it.
It's so funny.
I need to go on YouTube.
We'll put it.
You want to look at this?
We'll put it in the show notes. Well, Ross Louden, thank you very much for joining us, man.
Mark, it's been a pleasure.
We'll do this again sometime when you've got some more stories to tell us and you've done some more travelling and see what's happening with you.
Oh yeah, man. When are you guys next about? Anywhere?
We're in Dumfries on Saturday.
They're facing Saturday. That's a bit far from me. I might be. I'm out with North Atlas. We're doing some stuff. Is the Brickyard anywhere near you guys?
Yeah, it's just literally down the road. Up the road, I should say.
If you are up for it, I'll drop you a link.